Okay, I'm Stuart Rumley, CEO, owner of Valon Technology. We design and manufacture RF signal sources and other related products for science, industry, and research. What can I say about Valon? I started this company around 1987, essentially mostly consulting engineering. In 1999, we integrated as an LLC. We incorporated as an LLC. We started making products, primarily frequency synthesizers. Our first customer was, if I can say, was Berkeley Space Science Labs. They bought one of our first synthesizers, and since then we've been supplying Berkeley and other radio astronomy companies frequency synthesizers for a long time. For several years, they were most of our business was in radio astronomy. Although you probably would think that they were used as local oscillators or something for receivers, but I think in a large part the synthesizers were used to clock their digital signal processors, which kind of a radio application. But most radios nowadays are software-defined radios anyway, so it's not uncommon to use a high-frequency synthesizer to do this digital signal processing and the A to D conversion, those sort of things. Since then, our business in synthesizers has grown to also include defense, security applications, of course quantum computing now, and molecular sciences. I kind of think of myself as being self-taught, although I did go to school at night and acquired a lot of knowledge from taking formal classes, but I still consider myself mostly self-taught in the radio electronic development. Mr. Teeters, my senior high school shop teacher, told me that Lockheed Missiles in Space in Sunnyvale was interviewing high school students for summer jobs as technicians, electronic technicians. And he let me borrow his Dodge tradesman van to drive to Sunnyvale. Who would do that? Anyway, I did get the job, and I worked at Lockheed for 6 years in their calibrations lab. I moved on from Lockheed. I went to another defense company, Applied Technology, not to be confused with Applied Materials. And I worked in their advanced development department on things like radar warning receivers. And always looking for ways to make money, because I was a young guy and looking for trying to buy a house and stuff. So I found out that I could do a lot of consulting. There's a lot of people in the Bay Area looking for RF microwave engineers to do consulting, to build products and modify products and repair products. So I was always working other jobs, and decided that I could just make more money consulting than I could by working at a regular job. When I wasn't working or consulting, I was experimenting with various radio frequency devices, mostly synthesizers, on how to design synthesizers. At about the same time, eBay started up, the internet became a thing, and I could make things and put them on eBay and sell them. And that, my only purpose was to do consulting, or to get more consulting business. I didn't have it really interested in becoming a products company. But after a few years, I was actually making more money selling synthesizers than I was in consulting, so that's why I'm doing this now full time. You're selling benchtop equipment, primarily, I would say. I mean, I'm sure a lot of your equipment ends up in racks and things like that, but our synthesizers like these are designed as components that are embedded, so you can't plug it into the wall and turn it on and turn some knobs and have it create a signal. So you need to, provide a DC power supply for it, some sort of interface, either USB or Ethernet or TTL serial connection. And it's designed to be bolted into your chassis along with other microwave components. So it's not a benchtop instrument. You know, we thought about that, but we don't really want to be in the benchtop test equipment because it's a whole different field. And I don't think we compete in any way with the products that Berkeley Nucleonics sells. And I think in order to be in this business, you have to have the ability to make accurate phase noise measurements. And I can make phase noise measurements with a spectrum analyzer, as you know, but they don't have the precision or the resolution or the dynamic range that you need to make phase noise measurements for a synthesizer class instrument. And, you know, it's good for non-synthesizer class signals, but if you're selling synthesizers, you're essentially selling phase noise, or the lack of it, or a controlled amount of it. And I've always felt that, you know, in order to be, you know, serious about this business, you need to be able to measure it. So I did look all over for SSAs, signal source analyzers, and they're quite expensive. But the Berkeley Nucleonics sales guy at the time was calling me pretty regularly, maybe 4 times a year. And I kept saying, you know, like, things are way too expensive for me. So they did put together a special package for me, which I very much appreciated, and it got me into the phase noise measurement business. Well, I think, you know, originally we were a RF microwave design development consulting establishment. But as I've pointed out before, we moved away from that and become a products company primarily focused on RF signal sources and associated modules specifically for embedded applications.